As we say, good morning. Top of the Bridge is on till 10 o'clock. My name is Richie B.
You're surely DJ artist in the building.
All right. So it looks like there was a goal scored just a moment ago. Switzerland has now taken the lead over Cameroon. And it's 1-0 at this point in the match. Still inside of the first half. Switzerland lead Cameroon 1-0 in minute number 49. As far as World Cup action is concerned, what a day it was yesterday.
Yep.
Wow. 7 goals from Spain, they look good.
Yeah.
I guess we'll talk more about that later on.
Biggest margin so far.
Yeah. It's a good look. But you know what people are saying on the streets, right? Today the World Cup really just has started.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of people biting their fingernails, brother. I tell you.
And that's mostly because Brazil steps onto a pitch today.
Yep.
But the other side of the coin is that they're saying, should Brazil lose,
Hold on.
World Cup done.
No. Listen, I tell you.
So, since that is highly unlikely to happen, I will stick with the one that says World Cup just a start.
Hold on, the ball round.
It's going to be a great morning. Keep it locked. 99 on the FM band, 0.1, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9. And we're streaming at www.thebridge99fm.com. Good morning to every member of my team inside of the studio with us right now, and to you, Bridge Nation. Time for
WTF.
What the fact?
Alright, I just read the headline. I don't know. I can relate to this. I don't know why. A pope, yes, a pope, once declared a war on cats. Yeah.
And John Paul.
No, look, so you might not be a cat person, but you surely can't hate them as much as Pope Gregory the Ninth did between 1233 and 1234. Gregory, who as leader of the Catholic Church had a lot of power, and he decreed that cats were agents of Satan and should be destroyed. That's right. Maybe one scratched up his sofa real bad, we don't know. But whatever happened, this led to a mass killing of the poor moggies, which in turn probably led to an outbreak in plague. Now there weren't as many cats around to kill rats, so big up yourself, Gregory. Or I guess not.
Maybe not.
Yeah, guess not.
Yeah. Outbreak of plagues as a result of the cats not being around.
To take on the rats,
Yeah, my goodness. He had a problem with cats in general, or was it the colloquial expression? I'm just wondering, because what would be so bad about
I'll tell you what.
About cats?
I wouldn't kill them, but I agree.
Yeah, back then it was believed that cats, and we're talking cats now, like not
cats.
We're not speaking colloquially.
No.
Right. It was believed that cats were evil.
Yeah.
I still believe that.
I still heard that.
I think they're secret agents.
Now, if we were talking
Really?
Yes, is it? It's a colloquially now.
Colloquially now, it would be.
There's a point.
Maybe not.
Now, what's up about cats? I don't know. Them feel like them better now sometimes. I don't really do like that. That's my only problem with cats. Like them feel like them better than you. But I wouldn't go as far as to like kill them. That's crazy.
All right. It took us a little time to get that in my headset because with Romy.
With Romy, Morse code. Yeah.
But he was actually saying, or trying to say, that it is said that if a cat licks the nose of a young newly born baby, that baby will die. I never heard that one before. Never heard that. And cat lovers out there, by the way, we're not making a bad case for the animal that you really like, okay? Just some facts that
I don't trust
we're
them.
sharing.
I don't trust them.
So that's a fact, though. A pope once declared a war on cats.
Here, kitty.
Thank God it didn't last until 2022. Right, cat lovers? Give them an update. That's what we're going to do right now.
Yeah, alright, so here we're going now. Apparently, alkaline and popcorn almost killed the dancehall show business in Jamaica. Well, at least this is according to Heavy D. You know, Heavy D, who is the co-conceptualizer of Sting, says that Popcorn and Alkaline almost killed the dancehall showbiz in Jamaica. The man went on to say those two up to this day, when Sting call on them never do Sting back again. They said they're not doing it and Sting needed stars. You needed headliners. This is what Heavy D had to say. To put things into context, the promoter explained that when dancehall giants Vybz Kartel and Mavado declined to grace the stage again, their only hope was the unruly boss and of course the champion boy Alkaline. However, their refusal to perform at the usually packed show turned out to be a disappointment. The year Kartel and Mavado said them wasn't doing it, I have every star in Jamaica and nobody didn't come. So when we realized that Popcorn and Alkaline was the two leaders and them not doing the show, it never makes sense to go forward because we know what's gonna happen with people keep on saying they want those two, Heavy D explained. Up to this day, them two man they never do a show together nowhere. Them don't take no booking together for one reason or the other, and it almost killed the business of show business, dancehall show business in Jamaica. But them know that. Heavy D continued by criticizing the two men for being selfish and turning their backs on their homeland where they first got their big breaks, albeit both men have held their respective concerts on the island. Them just think them can keep a show for themselves and it continue. They don't think about the other rest of promoters. Like you have some artists where every time them bust a Jamaica, them say, oh, me now work for Jamaica. Me ask them all the while, so yeah, I think about every other promoter but not the one them will bust you in a Jamaica. The Jamaican promoter bust artists and Jamaican people bust artists. Cause if Jamaican people not honor you, you can't take anything you want. You can't talk anything you want to talk. Them have to show some strokes. One or two a man get away from it. Why you don't want to work for the Jamaican people? Heavy D questioned. Interesting.
Well, some of these artists, when they get to a certain stage, they do their own shows. But in this instance, like Alkaline has never done Sting, even he was an up and coming artist.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate that some of the artists take that approach, and some of the big events could become even bigger, which is good for the industry with their inclusion. But sometimes that just has to do with money and how much you're willing to pay and how much they see as their value.
Well, Every was onto something. I think at that time, a lot of dancehall fans, particularly Vendetta and Unruly fans, will understand that Popcorn and Alkaline did have a beef, a certain type of beef at the time. So I guess what Heavy D is saying is, if Kartel and Mavado could have this thing, I don't see why they could have done it, couldn't have done it. But maybe them just never see it beneficial for any of them, so they just went their own ways and did their own shows. And and I think Unruly Fest and New Rules was another way of them showing their rivalry. You understand me? Say, yo, I can do my own show. We don't need to meet in a central location. I could do our own thing.
And so we don't know whether or not too the promoters might have been encouraging them to go the route of a clash. Exactly. Which maybe they didn't have an interest in doing also.
That too.
So
enough like a great areas, enough like things, but
one of them things. The good thing is that Sting is coming back.
Yeah, man, Heavy. You don't watch no face,
in a big way. So celebrate that fact, Heavy. And go through. Big up Isaiah Leng and the crew as well.
Facts.
Let's talk about Shaggy now, as I intimated earlier. Shaggy continues to give back in a major way, and he's urging other artists to also give back. The Grammy-winning artist recently visited a Michigan prison in the US of A, where he shared words of wisdom and spoke to inmates as part of his philanthropic efforts, and he's sharing that many others can do more. According to Shaggy, he doesn't take his blessings lightly and knows that his fame also brings him the opportunity to do more for his community. So as it turned out, he visited this Genesee County Jail in Michigan, and he spoke to the inmates. According to reports, Shaggy, who co-owns a banking institution called Color Bank, which serves people of Caribbean and African descent in America. The bank serves customers who particularly do not have a social security number and are otherwise unable to access banking services. And so at the graduation ceremony, he basically handed out 15 inmates benefited from debit cards, and accounts were also opened in their names, I suspect, through Color Bank's efforts. And that is a very, very good look. Color Bank support is aimed at the prison's program to assist inmates in reintegrating into society and assisting them so that they do not re-offend, especially as studies show that many ex-convicts find it challenging to return to normal life after jail. So, Color Bank, it was revealed, provides inmates with financial literacy courses and later financial services, which they will need going forward. So anyway you take it, it's a good story. Shaggy actually went on to say that he drew inspiration from the notorious B.I.G., who previously spoke about artists having responsibility for the type of music they make, especially when their influence grows as they rise to the top. So we congratulate Orville Shaggy Burrell on that initiative. And I think we need to check out this Color Bank to see what else we can share with Bridge Nation.
For real.
All right, that's it for Update. Right now, let's go to our proverb of the day.
If you're not mash ants, you're not finding guts. If you're not mash ants, you're not finding guts.
Okay.
Oh, that's quite violent.
Yeah, but it is it is true. Because how else you're gonna find him good? You don't have no magnifying glasses that can see through. So if you know mash ants, find him guts.
Okay.
There must be a meaning to that.
Yeah.
And I think I've found it.
Okay.
It is only when you are closely involved with some persons that you're able to really know them. Okay. Meaning inside out.
Okay.
I guess. If one is not provoked, it is impossible to know the extent of his or her fury. And that is true.
Oh, the latter part now, me get it now.
In my time, I've seen some people quiet like a lamb. But when them get out, brother, you want them to see a person that you know for years.
I'm one of those persons.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man.
No man, you too happy, man. You can't vex. You can't hardly be even upset, brother.
That's right. But I'm just saying, there's a reason.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So when you lose, you're cool.
Yeah, man.
No normal.
No
about
AC, no fun. Yeah, no season can cool it down.
Yeah.
You know?
Man, oh man. So if you know mash hands, find him guts.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the proverb of the day. Now to a pet peeve of the morning. What are pet peeves? Pet peeves are things that others do that you might find annoying, irritating, or even upsetting. And today, Shelz has got a pet peeve to share. Let's hear it.
Yeah, man, you're all going on Bridge Nation. That one here just in time for the World Cup season. This has always been a pet peeve because I don't want to stop watch football, Richie.
Yeah.
So watch this now. My pet peeve. Waganists. Now let's stop this up. Waganists. What are waganists? People who jump on certain side just only when them do well, and people who jump off a side when them not do well. So you have enough people run left Argentina, you have people that run left Germany, you have enough people that run go Spain, and as other man say, for one match, wagonist. The next thing to I'm gonna extend the wagonist because there's a little subsection of wagonist. The people them all have two side. No, Jody, that me can't work with the people them have two side. The only exception I can have if you come like Hardly and just bring the whole of Africa because of the heritage. You know, people who like pick. So like if Jamaica they go World Cup, and Richie you say I bring Brazil, but you don't know you support Jamaica same way. Right. I get that. But for people who want to bring Brazil and Argentina, special place in hell. Like me can't. No, you can't do that.
For a moment, I actually thought the pet peeve was about Audley.
No.
and his support of Africa.
No man, that
in
can't
general.
work, man. I understand that.
But no specific team in Africa.
No man.
But then it's more than that.
No man.
Even though that might very well have been included in your thought process.
No, but
we still can't get from which African nation. But outside of that, there are lots of waganists out there.
But Richie, that one woman just bring that example. People actually bring, people just don't know what them are doing and say, oh, yeah, mama, bring Brazil and Argentina. You can't do that. You can't.
Why?
Why not?
Why not?
Them doing either or either, man.
No,
that's what they're doing.
Do that. You can't do that.
The rest of them just must pick a side and stick with
that.
that.
No, pick one side, and when the one side go to cry, I just enjoy the rest of the tournament as a neutral.
No, so what you're saying, so basically what you're saying, we can't pick two sides.
No.
Nor three.
No, three? What's that?
One trifecta. We can't.
No.
I go Quinella or Trifecta.
No. So people, for this workup
Name your
still
team.
early. Just pick your side, one side.
Name your team, whether you're at work or at play, wherever you are. You're not taxi.
Yeah.
Name your team and stick with that.
them. Yeah.
That shows I say.
And cry when them drop out.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm going to go vex.
Brazil fans are bite some fingernail right now.
Well,
The continuing trend.
my nails well low, so I wouldn't have no nail for bite. Watch our next team bite the dust of that if we talk about.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Make good
Yikes. Okay.
Okay then.
Yes.
So that was Shelz' pet peeve.
Yeah, the wagonist.
Choose that team, man, and stop being a wagonist.
Yeah, guys, so you know it's all about that secret sound game. And you guys, if you guess the sound correctly, you win that gift package. Courtesy of our peeps over there at Massey Distribution.
And we've got one clue to share with you right after you hear this morning's secret sound. Here it is. That is the sound. Here is the clue.
The clue is fire.
All right. Now, what can you make of that? Let's get these calls coming in right now. 876-676-4996 or 876-551-5782. There are some people who sit around and say, let me hear what the other person said before I say my
before
thing."
me call and
There are some people who are not confident in their answer, but listen, man, we take it all.
yeah,
And nobody can laugh after you because, trust me,
facts.
what you think might be foolish might just turn out to be the correct answer.
Yeah, you can't too afraid of the quack quack quack.
No.
Forward, man.
Yeah, man. Deal with it like Carol does and like Ellie does.
Dennis.
Eunice and as to Dennis.
Dennis.
If
Dennis,
not,
no fear.
So don't worry about the little thing, the little noise or whatever you hear, the response.
Yeah.
Just call us in with your answer. What sound does this sound like to you? And remember, the clue is fire. Good morning to our first caller. You're on the air. Good morning. Welcome to Bridge 99 FM.
Good morning.
Morning, Talis. How you doing?
Yes. I'm an Argentina girl. I go on with herself.
Is you?
You know, some right Talis.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see
No,
that.
wagonist round here. You never see
Yeah.
it.
I didn't see that
That's
at
the
all.
message, man.
But that yes. So you're definitely not a wagonist.
Seems so.
Right.
You're
I'm
sticking with the team that you
Yes.
have always supported.
not. Win, lose, or draw.
I love that. I
That's
love
right.
that.
Okay.
All right. So how's it?
I still have you up. I know I'm going to get my call.
I know me, Talis. I know me. I talk to the respective producer. I don't hear nothing. I know me, Talis. We work on it
You
same
get
way.
the front line and if
Ah,
there's anything
jeez.
you, me I talk to you.
Line up.
that's true.
Me no-
True.
Me no
Line
know
of
about
fire.
producer, you, me know.
True.
All
True. So your answer for today. I assume we can make it up to you. Your answer for today.
Is that the semicolon train that has fire in it? That works with fire, the old time semicolon train.
The old time the train, is it? What kind of train?
Semicolon,
Oh, semi-cold.
yeah.
Oh, that's before my time. I don't know about them things then. I tell you the truth, that's before my time. You know, Talis.
Before my time too.
Oh, Talis, you make me nervous for saying this to you know, because I want to go on, but you know it go.
Lighten up. Should get it full force. Sorry, Talis, but we know you take that in good fun.
Yeah.
And you'll try again. If you want to try, it's 876-676-4996 or 876-551-5782. Those are the numbers you can reach us on. Reminding you, too, that in a short while from now, we're heading over to the UK, where we'll be having that connection, the UK connection with Robo Ranks. And that's from 7:45 until 8:15. And we'll have two guests in that segment this morning. Really looking forward to that. We'll be chatting with representatives of the Kingston Logistics Center. We're talking about Novelette Henry-Mathison, the marketing manager, and Cherine Forbes, the business development and communications officer of, as we mentioned, Kingston Logistics Center. They'll be a part of the UK connection, so their messages will be carried across Jamaica and across the UK at the same time. All right, the calls are a little sluggish. People are still trying to figure it out, as you can well imagine. Sometimes they kind of run out of options. Listen. Oh, and I just was told that 3 persons, I don't know what's happening, 3 calls that got disconnected a while ago. So
What?
just keep trying though, and you could be a winner. This is the gift package that you're going after. It's courtesy of Massey Distribution, and it's chock full of all kinds of wonderful things. So make sure that you try for the Secret Sound game.
Yeah.
All right, brother. No, this one says, bro, me no walk on this, you know.
Here we go.
I name Brazil to win in support, and France second.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. Stop that. Just say Brazil. That is over talk about. What you talk about France second? There's no second. It's win World Cup. It's a Brazil.
Oh, Delroy, I don't know, you know.
Come on, Delroy. Just say Brazil.
You might have to send back a next WhatsApp, brethren.
Yeah, just
Hold on there.
Like the man must say, make up your mind.
Somebody sent me
What is it?
this picture.
Oh, I know the video with the German brother.
Yeah. Nobody expected. Nobody expected Germany to lose, but we have to pick up the Japanese, and we also let me get back to that point after we take this call. Good morning, you're on the air. Hello.
Yeah, morning.
Morning, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Delroy here.
Oh,
That's right.
right on time.
And time.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah.
All right, this one I know from my sweetheart. Take time talking and I met my wife here, yeah?
All right.
All right. You wanna know. It's somebody scraping. All right, you know, like this. It's a fire, right?
That's the clue.
But you're scraping, like you're scraping the grill or setting the grill, and then using. All right, let me put it this way. You're using a piece of, you know, there's like a zinc. You're shaking the zinc, but you're fanning the fire.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think so it's something where you're fanning the fire. You can hear the fire blow, you know. So.
Okay.
You think your wife hear that? You're not sure.
I know say that my fan the fire still.
All right. I mean, you'll get to breakfast still. Don't worry about it. Win, lose, or draw.
Richie, if she never hear man, so she go hear this.
No,
Delroy, man.
all right. We're going to take one more? All right, no problem. Let's take one more call. Good morning, you're on the air. Welcome to the Secret Sound game. Hello.
Hello.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Richie B.
Yeah, and it come like you want to flap the whole out, you know. watch me and him know. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to Shelz.
Still
Greetings, Ian.
All right, Ian, what's your answer this morning?
All right. You're striking a match. Somebody striking a match. Right? And then the stove going out. The stove out in like.
Oh,
You know?
hear that?
Yeah.
Here, let me hear it.
And keep on lighting the match and let the stove keep on out.
Oh.
You know that.
For those who do not know, Ian is a long-time listener. If I've been in the radio for over 30 years, he has been supporting my programs over 30 years by listening. And trust me, a man like this deserves to win on a day like this.
True.
You heard the answer he gave to the question that we asked to identify our secret sound. Did he do enough? We'd love to declare him a winner, but let's find out. What's the verdict? No, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry, brother.
Man.
Don't stop listening here.
Please.
All right. The listeners need to start calling us exactly at 7:30 though, because when you take too long to call, then we're moving on into other features. All right. It's now time for the UK Connection. My name is Richie B.
This is your boy Shelz.
And we're welcoming the champion out of Europe, the champion out of the UK, who doesn't necessarily support England in the World Cup.
That's true.
But we're talking about none other than Robo
Ranks.
No, I cannot be supporting England. I heard Shelz talk about how impeccable the Japanese fans are. You know what you get with England fans? You get tin cans, tenants, super tenants, lager cans, and of course they will wash down your stadium with urine. Of course they do. That's what they do. It's just regular behavior. So what are you trying to say?
Only if you drunk ones would do that.
Come on, not all of them,
Not
Robo.
all of them.
Come on, Robo.
And in any event, they can't even get the alcoholic beverages at the stadium.
There you go. And that is why your stadiums are so clean and smell so wonderful. Because the English fans can't have their way. No, I'm not a supporter of England.
Yeah.
Yes, this is my home, but I don't support England. And for many reasons, as we saw last Friday when the English media went to town after 5 brothers scored magnificent, wonderful, superb, world-class finishes.
Yeah.
But Jack Grealish took the headlines.
Oh, that's what happened? What?
Richie,
What?
you know me.
Yep.
I'm always looking out for it.
Yep.
And I saw
Wow.
it. And it's like,
Bad
that
taste.
is one of the reasons why you can't be so fully invested in supporting England. I want
Leaves a
every
bad
player.
taste in your mouth. I know what you mean.
Yeah. I want every player to do well. The brothers, Grealish, whoever, Rice. I think they're all fantastic footballers. They're all great footballers, and they deserve to be playing World Cup football because they've proved over the years that England has reached a certain standard. That I want to see with Jamaica. That I want to see with Canada. That I want to even see with Iran. I just think if you're a footballer, the world stage is something that you have to grace to prove the point that you are great. But what happens is some of the players are not truly great. And over the years, the English press has always marginalized the player of a certain complexion. I can't support England.
Oh boy,
Can't do it.
But you're happy
I
when
can't do it.
Are you happy when Raheem Sterling scores though? And he already has
100%.
20 goals
Listen.
for England, and that puts him right up there with some of the big names who have played for England. It's a good look.
And I think he would definitely reach to around 30 goals because Harry Kane is a brilliant striker and gets to take all the penalties. If you cross off the penalties that he's taken for England in tournaments, Raheem Sterling is right behind him. But I wish all the players luck. I wish all of them, black, white, brown. I wish them all luck. But it's the media that causes that problem.
Did you ever name your team for the World Cup this year?
Yeah, Robo. What's the team?
I did, and I've been consistent. I've been consistent for the last 2 years. I've always aired on the side of France because France is a wonderfully they just embrace the players for what they do and how they do. They've been doing that since 1998, and of course my other team that I picked for because they play great football is Brazil. So it would always be France and Brazil.
Stop it,
and sometimes I sway. Sometimes I go Portugal. Sometimes I ear behind England. But this year...
No. Shelz has started something where he's saying that we all need to just make up our minds. I've already made up mine. But a number of listeners are writing in because Shelz feels that there are too many wagonists around.
No.
So
I'm a football wagonist. I'm a football wagonist. I am a football wagonist.
Here's what Delroy, who wrote in earlier, responded and said.
Yeah, Delroy.
He says, bro, me not leaving out my 2 sides,
Jeez.
I have a left side and I have a right side.
Oh, my goodness.
Brazil is my right side and France is my left side. Full stop. Him say, no care what Shelz I say.
You can't do that.
No, Shelz, you can. I'll tell you why. Because it's tournament football.
Yeah.
And if you look at tournament football, tournament football is divided by a left side and a right side.
I know that.
And sometimes you'll find that 2 of your teams are on the right side, and if you support England, you're there on the wrong side. You understand? So you have a left side and right side. So in tournament football, I think you are allowed to have 2 sides. And I've always where France and Brazil are on one side, and I see Portugal or probably England, then I would go to that side. But
I'm all in on one team, Brazil, and the argument done. It feels like today the World Cup is just really starting.
Oh boy. Here we go.
No. I think the World Cup definitely started when Argentina got their nose punched in. That's when it started.
No.
Because I don't know why people are so invested in. I know why they are. We all know it's because of Lionel Messi. So as far as people are concerned, it's the best team in the world. It isn't. It hasn't been for years.
That's right.
It's a good team.
All right. Some star players too who just need to rise to the occasion. This morning we have 2 wonderful ladies who will be talking to us. They are representatives of the Kingston Logistics Center, which is Jamaica's all-inclusive logistics hub that offers faster, easier, and smarter shipping and logistics solutions to commercial and non-commercial clients who value speed and convenience as well as reliability. They remove the hassle from shipping and logistics, generating instead a seamless synergy between shipper, forwarder, shipping agents, port, and and receiving clients. And this morning, they're going to be talking to us about the container housing in Jamaica, a faster, easier, smarter way to the life that you really want to live and the life that you envisage. This is an interesting development on our shores, and we're quite happy to welcome at this time from the Kingston Logistics Center two representatives in Novelette, Henry-Mathison, the marketing manager, and Cherine Forbes, the business development and communications officer. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Richie B. Thanks for having us. So, in the UK.
All right, you got it. Now, yes, we're quite happy to have you both this morning. I'm liking what we're seeing and what we'll be talking about. Roboranks is also interested as well. This whole trend of container housing. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, globally, we're moving towards sustainable living. And container homes is one of the best ways that you can recycle and make great use of what would be considered waste, right? And the idea of living in big houses that a lot of times we are empty nesters and we want these huge mansions, that's just something of the past. People are moving towards tiny living and conservative living and also just sustainable living, and container housing is a perfect segue into that kind of lifestyle.
So, tell us a little bit more, though. I mean, I know that containers come in sizes like you've got your 20-foot, your 40-foot, and so on. Are these the same, like, metal containers that you'd be using from scratch?
Yes, that is indeed so. That is indeed so. As you mentioned, yes, container comes in varying sizes. 20 foot to 20 foot. The width of all containers are 8 feet wide. Home, police post, just about any sort of space you can envision, we can create that and bring that to fruition for you to use the space accordingly. And with the 40 foot, as I mentioned, you will be able to get 320 square feet, being the size of a width of 8 and the length of 40. We can do the build out accordingly. We build to specifications, as well as there is a typical size of the 20 and the 40, where we optimize the space as best as possible. So, like for a 20 foot, you could get a 1 bedroom. And when I said 1 bedroom, I want to make it clear that you're not going to get a living and a dining room.
Yes.
Because you're only speaking about 160 square feet here. So you'll have a livable space, a small kitchenette, and a bathroom.
Oh, really?
And for a 40, for 40 you could get it's a 2 bedroom, but again, I want to be clear, you're not going to get a living and a dining, but you'll get 2 defined spaces that you can use to use how you see fit, a bathroom and a kitchenette, of course.
Well, I mean,
outside of that, we will take a customer's floor plan and cost it accordingly and do the build out to have them realize their dreams.
And somebody can step into this space and feel like they're at home, right?
Absolutely. We actually have a model unit at our location. So we'll invite our potential customers who want to get that feel. They can come in and we can give them a first-hand view of that space.
We're actually looking at one under construction on the screen, and it really looks beautifully laid out and everything.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
And when it's completed, so you will have your pieces, your furniture pieces, in the space, so you will feel like you're at home. Already you can get that feel as it is.
Just before Shelz jumps in, the question of heat and so on and insulation. I mean, like, how do you deal with the inside of the container?
And so the inside, the wall finish, you have 2 options. You could use a drywall finish,
yes,
or concrete board, depending on the look you want. And in terms of controlling the heat, we could do insulation. We're personally using like a Prodex. Some persons would prefer to use like fiberglass, but those 2 products will significantly reduce the heat You know, this material is placed between the wall of the container and the wall finish, either the drywall or the concrete board.
What?
Or plywood. There's 3 options actually.
Oh man, yo, Richie, I'm ready right now, you know, because let me tell you something, ladies. Greetings once again. Let me tell you something. I've always hi, how you doing? I've always seen this initiative like online, you know, like some only like Europe or like them other fancy places. Like I've seen it, and I've always said to myself, I can't wait. I wonder if Jamaica could do this. So I'm grateful for this. So my first question become ready right now. What would be needed aside from the container itself, of course? What would be needed for me to start building my container home?
Your deposit, your 50% deposit. That's it.
All right.
Wow.
Your 50%
I like that.
deposit, Shelz.
All right.
Our
Still ready?
payment plan is usually a 50% deposit and the balance upon completion. But certainly, if you want to, you know, pay a little more while the unit is under construction, we certainly will accept that. So your final payment will be less than 50%.
Okay.
But pretty much that's the process.
You also need the land to put the container home on.
Go ahead, Cherine.
You also need the land to put the container home on.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, man. All right. Thanks for that. Thanks for that,
But he
Cherine.
has a lot along the country, man.
Thank you.
Don't you?
Yeah, man. I think so.
There you
Yeah.
go. There are lots along in the country. And I want to just reach out to our listeners in the diaspora who may be thinking of coming back home to Jamaica, because, I mean, ultimately, you know, this is the place. This is your place, and we all welcome you back home. I mean,
Why, thank you.
I know I'm not going to be building big houses, but certainly you could do a starter where if you want to be in the space while your mansion is under construction, you know, you could start with a container. And of course, the container can be expanded. You can start with a 40-foot, but you can actually add to it with slight Legos. You add as you go along.
Okay.
So,
And remember that it can be used as well for, you know, Airbnb, bed and breakfast kind of thing.
right.
So,
Yes.
a vacation home. So you use it when you're on vacation and then rent it out. Otherwise, you know, it still is a great option for instant running.
For the listener out there who is interested and is wondering what kind of costs, would you say starting from approximately what?
I think for the small, it's approximately 1.9 up.
Oh, okay. All right.
And of course, that's a starting unit.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Shelz is doing some calculations.
Yeah,
You're going to be hearing from him later on today, by the way, ladies.
I'm going to put my finger there.
Because I think it will be easy for you. Your dollar is very, very strong.
Okay.
That pound sterling.
Okay. All right.
Maybe we haven't said anything about Roborangs yet.
Wow.
You're seeing the container that's being delivered on the truck, but that is literally a complete unit. Like, you don't need anything except for your plumbing and electricity from there. So at that point, it's like you just get a home with actually a turnkey kind of readiness. So
how can you be contacted, ladies? How can people reach you at
KLC?
Yes. We're located at 146 First Street, Newport West. Our contact numbers are 876-619-2836, 876-757-5358, 876-579-9545. And we're also on Insta. Our handles are
KLCJM.
Say that for me.
Yes, the Insta handle is KLCJM, and the Facebook handle is Kingston Logistics Center. Our website is also www.klclogisticsja.com.
And just to close, we understand that the lifespan of these structures can be anywhere between 25 and 30 years. That's also a plus.
Yes,
That's a plus.
All right.
And maintenance is very important. As in any conventional structure, you know, you have to do a maintenance. Nobody just sits around and don't paint the house for Christmas. So the same would obtain, you know, for containers. And Richie, I heard you mention earlier, we're talking about Japan and how humble of a person they are based on their culture and stuff. And I think I quickly just want to segue to reach out to our automotive dealer clients here in Jamaica because rates, we do, I don't know if you know that, we do logistics, or core is logistics.
Yes,
and
I know
that's
that.
course we diversify somewhat into modification and container sales.
Okay.
But I want to just quickly reach out to our automotive dealers here in Jamaica.
Yes.
And just to let them know that rates are trending down now out of Japan. And so, trending down from the levels of like a 12, 15, 11,000 or 15,000. Rates are trending down. I just want to say, reach out to me, and I tell you what levels I can move containers now with motor vehicles into Jamaica.
All right.
Whereby we are consolidating cars. We are loading up to 4 cars in a portable container, be consolidated when it gets to Jamaica. So gone are the days where importer who wants to bring home, buy a car for Christmas, and they have to wait to get space on a rover vessel. What we're doing here at KLC is doing is to consolidate cars. We have agents in Japan and Singapore who will consolidate, pack up to 4 or 5 cars in a container. Wow. Send it to Jamaica to our facility. We break that out and we distribute it accordingly.
All right. After all, it's all about shipping and logistics solutions to both commercial and non-commercial clients. I want to thank you both, ladies. We've learned a lot, and I'm sure that your phones are going to be ringing off the hook because people must be quite interested to hear that they can get a starter home for under $2 million. Sounds good to me. Take care. All the best to you.
Enough love.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure. All right, a chat there inside of the UK Connection with Novelette Henry-Mathison, Marketing Manager, and Cherine Forbes, Business Development and Communications Officer at the Kingston Logistics Center, the KLC. Sounded interesting, would you say, Robo?
It's very interesting. You know what? I think I'm a genius because I thought about this idea about 30 years ago. I used to drive and deliver goods to like building sites, and they used to use these containers as like offices, or you go to the yards and the yard would have somebody in the offices check off the goods and what have you. And I used to look at those things thinking they would work brilliantly if you could bring them to the Caribbean and put them down, make windows and blah 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 blah, and make them into a sustainable place. I was thinking about that years ago. Yes. And the other day in lockdown, I must say, if you notice in the UK, loads of people were trying to do things that were different and creative, and people were investing into those sea containers and making food and coffee, like mobile coffee counters or food counters, cladding them outside with natural wood, growing plants on the outside. So when you pass these things, you think these are some green boxes, but they're actually sea containers. So people are finding real creative ways of using those containers.
It's a versatile product. As a matter of fact, even in Dubai, there is a stadium that was built using 974 containers. I think they actually call the stadium 974.
Yep.
And
we have
World Cup matches are being held there.
Yeah, we have a massive building on the bank of the River Thames called the Sea Containers, where companies like Puma work out. I mean, it's all created out sea containers. So people are being kind of moving in that sustainable direction years ago. I thought about it years ago. But
that's like
it's good that we
heard
DJ.
That. I should have thought about it and turn it into a business. So well done to those young ladies and the company there.
Yeah,
great look.
And insulation and so on can reduce any discomfort in terms of heat and so on. So that's a good thing.
Did she say you can't bring them into Jamaica? Because I know I can find about 5 of them around one part. Did she say you can't bring them into Jamaica, or you have to? I didn't hear that bit because
the containers themselves.
As she had said that, I know a few people whose head is going bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Hey, big up Roddy G. I think I spoiled his breakfast because I mentioned Germany's name.
Oh no,
not the right way. Sorry, Roddy. But so it go.
All right, Robo, we're out of time.
Cover your mouth, yeah, man. Cover your mouth, yeah.
All right, catch you again soon, bro. Take care. Have a great afternoon.
All right, peace.
And enjoy your stir-fried lunch.
Respect.
So it's now time for
Man Chat.
Man Chat. It happens every Thursday morning at this time. And today we look at the topic, Men Need Love Too. With us to discuss this topic is Mr. Vassell Ogilvie. He's a psychotherapist and president and CEO of Hudson Valley Dynamic Counseling. Just to tell you before we welcome Vassell, it is a common misperception that men don't crave feelings of closeness, connection, and emotional intimacy just as much as women do. With so many expectations from society, men often put on a hard exterior, but the truth is they need love too. This morning we will find out from Mr. Ogilvy how does love and affection affect the way men treat others. And we're very happy to have him as our guest at this time. Good morning and welcome, Mr. Ogilvy. How are you?
Good morning, Richie B, and good morning, Shelz. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm doing fine. It's Thanksgiving, as you know, right? Up
Absolutely.
Here in, we're just here trying to get the turkey together.
You are in the States as we speak?
Yes. I'm in New York.
Oh, so it's your turkey day.
Turkey day, yeah. We still have to get the curry goat and oxtail going.
That's right.
That's right.
That is it.
Real Jamaican man talking. All right, so welcome to Man Chat. I think you can help us on this subject. First of all, I want to ask you, what does love and affection really look like for a man?
That's a very interesting thing. What does it look like for a man? It depends on the man, you know. It depends on the man and which man you're talking to. Right? Some man, love and affection could mean permanence in a relationship. Another man, it could mean just a relationship that doesn't last for long, probably just here, there, and everywhere. But love and affection is something that we need to embrace because it provides security in the relationship.
Agreed. Now, Mr. Ogilvy, something I'm seeing a lot on social media, especially coming from the ladies. The ladies can slide talk to me later if they want. This whole thing about love languages, right? And I'm pretty sure that those play an important role in understanding, how to display affection in relationships. So my question is, how important is it for women to help to understand their man's love language?
Right, because we do have different love language. Or we express love in different ways, right? A man can express love by buying things for a woman, paying for certain things, and he sees in his world, this is how I show my love to my female. And the female might not validate that because all she needs is a hug. She needs someone to listen to her. Those are the things that we sometimes neglected. And it's very important.
True.
So we have to pay attention to the cues. What is she trying to say to us? So you run out and go buy her a BMW and she still don't smile with you.
So
right?
that's true.
All she did was sit down for 15 minutes. I need to talk to you about something that is important to me.
So Mr. Ogilvy, as it relates to the whole love language situation, then that sounds like it's important for a man to understand his own love language in order for us to feel the love that we need in a relationship.
Exactly. We'll have to understand ourselves and validate our own feeling so then we can express that to the female.
There are some young men who, even growing up from an early age, they are not shown a lot of love. Can this impact their lives, and how will it?
Certainly. Sometimes it's just the way they're raised. Right? Parenting is very important. Back to the mom and dad again. How do you raise a child? What do they see in the household, how dad expresses love to mom? When dad come home from work, does he give mom a kiss? Does he say hello? Does he just kind of disappear? What does he do? And the kids are paying attention to these cues. Right? Remember, children is like sponge, you put them in the water and it just stops everything. So we have to be careful when we're around children, how we express emotion to the female. If we speak harshly to them, if we speak lovely to them, if we care for them, the kids are watching. So this is really important.
Yeah. Except that sometimes when daddy reaches home, mommy's already fast asleep and maybe even the child has gone to bed. So, but you still have to show the affection some way, somehow, right?
Yes, and even mom is fast asleep. You can go in the room and give her a kiss on the forehead and say, I'm home, darling. Mm-hmm. That's all she needs.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah.
I agree.
Unless you maybe wake her up and she's not too pleased with the fact.
No, look at Jen
You're not going to wake her. And the validation of work is also important, because why she fast asleep? Maybe she's been home taking care of the kids all day.
There you go.
And she's tired.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get home, we also have to validate that and let her know that we appreciate that. Right?
True.
Yeah. Very important point. Very important point. It is said that some men are afraid to show how much they care or how much they crave love and affection. Why is that so? And is it really so?
There's a percentage of men who are really afraid to express themselves in a way that they make themselves vulnerable. Because vulnerability is very important here, because that's how we make changes in our life. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we're afraid to become vulnerable, right? Mm-hmm. So we have this hysteria that we are tough, right? We're tough guys. And then we're suffering silently, right?
True.
So we have, as you initially said, we have to go back and see ourselves, analyze what's happening to us as a person and as a male. And once we understand that, then we can become vulnerable. Then we can become emotional. Then we can cry when we need to cry. Mm-hmm. And that's very important.
Yeah.
True.
Well, you've said a whole lot, and we've learned a lot from what you have said. We started out by giving the intro. I'm going to give you the opportunity of doing the outro as we look at the topic, Men Need Love Too. What would you like to leave with us today, Mr. Ogilvy?
I would like to let you know that women need love too. And we have to provide love for them also. Right? So, you put it out. Whatever you put out, that's what you're going to get in return.
See there.
Just remember that. Whatever you put out, that's what you get back in return. Mm-hmm. And it's a universal concept.
Yeah.
All right.
Very important nuggets you've shared with us. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know what's already on the menu. You mentioned the turkey, the curried goat, the oxtail, and I'm sure that there's a whole lot more.
Yeah. No, this is a really interesting topic, man. We need to sit down one of these days and go through this properly.
Yeah, man, I agree.
So we can educate the public.
You've said a lot, but a lot more is there to be said, and I look forward to having you back with us sometime in the future. Thank you so much for your time today and the thoughts you shared, and we wish you a great Thanksgiving. All the best to you in New York, all right?
Blessed, man. Thank you so much.
All right. That's Mr. Ogilvy. He's actually Mr. Vassell Ogilvy, a psychotherapist, and he's president and CEO at Hudson Valley Dynamic Counseling. All right, so Natel is a reggae singer with a dancehall heart. His vocal tone is strong and confident. You'd have heard that in the song we played a while ago. Yet still he offers quite a smooth and melodic quality, allowing him to cross and fuse genres from time to time. His perception and understanding of the world around him gives him the ability to write with a unique storytelling nature that ranges from culturally conscious songs to sensual yet carnal dancehall tracks, forcibly requiring the desired body movement, and so on. Natel is here with us this morning to talk about some of the latest projects that he's been up to, and just to give us the 411 as to what's been happening with him in the recent past. We're pleased to have him with us as our guest, and we say good morning, Natel.
Blessings in our settings, Richie. Well, go on.
How are you doing, sir?
Good enough. As good as I can be, because I'm right now I'm surviving on probably from a half hour to an hour sleep.
Really?
Because man.
How come?
It's been like that for a few months. Finalizing this album, man. It's a lot of work.
Doing a lot of work, late hours and so on.
Balancing that with other projects and then family and personal life.
We know how it is. We know how it is. Let me just quickly now find out what's up with this new spelling that I'm seeing. I mean, we have seen your name all these years, and as Natel, spelled Natel, but I'm now seeing Nvt3l. What's going on here, Natel? Tell us.
Yeah. where the V represents a upside down A and the 3 represent a backwards E. It's just to refresh the brand. It's just to I was always the type of person. Well, I am still the type of person that I rather the behind walls, just do everything behind the scenes, right? Produce and all the vibes. But I love singing and I love to perform, and being on stage is the greatest moment for me. So I feel like it's time to push forward now and show myself. People are got actually see Nvt3l and wonder what that means. It's still Natel same way. You know what I mean? But it's just branding. If you Google Natel, you're going to find a bunch of things. Then probably I'll come up with, not to want to say it, but you know what I mean? But when you put Nvt3l, you'll only find me. And that's really the aim. That's what I was aiming for.
It's interesting.
So that
it's
the fans
interesting.
can find me wherever.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will stream me and can't find it, So.
Yeah. So promoters who are booking you when you're headlining events, if we're promoting your appearance here, you expect us then to use the new spelling?
I'd love that because we're trying to get people to get used to it. It's going to take a while, but
yeah,
it's a part of the process.
Yeah, I can think of Russian, who spells his name RVSSIAN. Black Hero also spells black with BL. VK, yes.
And then I think the hero has a 3 as well.
Huh?
I think the hero in Black Hero has a 3 as
there
well.
you go. So
and if you search for them people, they are them alone, you see with the name spelled. So, and that's important for branding. And marketing.
All right. Well, good luck with that. Little change going on there. Now, take us back to your early beginnings in music, if you will, Natel. How did you get started?
Well, I always tell this story, probably get old by now, but it's a story. It's a real story. You know what I mean? My father is a guitarist. He used to play for a host of artists, and now he's an artist. You know what I mean? But from a younger age, being around the band rehearsing, they always rehearsed at my house. So as a youth, I would find myself in the bass drum after rehearsal and them vibe there. And I just grew to love music. When him play on the North Coast in various hotels, I think he mentioned to me is the first guitarist in a lot of those hotels in Ocherius, enough of them big hotels. And I was there to set up the drum or do whatever I can and call it my little orange $20. You know what I mean? So I just grew to love music. My mother singing choir from as long as I can remember, and I was always there as our little handbag, going to the church with her while she rehearsed, and until I start play bass in the church, until I start play drum, and the music is just a part of me.
Respect, man. Respect. Now, Natel, greetings. Shelz here. Right now,
big up.
Yeah, man. Big up, man. So we know that the name change. I personally like it. Cause I don't know. I feel like what's happening is it's like a digitized way of putting in a name. Cause I don't know. I see it a lot in the movies as well. So I mess with it. I respect that. And it's all about getting the brand out there. Now, speaking of your brand, let's tie it in with Brand Jamaica. How has that been going with the music? Taking it overseas. Have you been touring? What's that side of your music life looking?
Yeah, man, it's a good look. It's growing.
Yeah.
That's what I can be grateful for, and the fact that I'm doing what I love, and actually people are out there that appreciate it to the point where I can go out and perform, and them can sing. Couple people can sing the lines them, or just find it. See me for the first time and can appreciate it. That's a blessing. So I've done a few shows, and currently doing some shows with Taurus Riley, because I write, I produce, I sing backing vocals. You know what I mean? So I sing backing vocals with Taurus Riley. I just doing music and enjoying it to the fullest.
Yeah.
Which is right.
Yeah, man, you're an awesome talent. Natel, I just want to ask as an aside, did you voice the ad for Reggae Sumfest this year?
For the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you've done it. So I owe you an apology, okay? And I want to do it now that we have the time, because I didn't know it was you. I actually thought initially it was Diani. And one morning, so I was very impressed with the vocals that you delivered on the ad for Reggae Sumfest, and decided one morning after the ad was played to just talk about it and just big up the singer. But it turned out that I had to be corrected later on down, because you were the man who did that fantastic production. Congratulations, man, and please accept my apology.
No, man, 1-3, man. The fact that I said Diani, I never said one name when I said, so give thanks. That's a compliment.
Okay.
Big up Diani.
Yeah,
that as well as a lot of other corporate ads.
Yeah. Which shall remain nameless.
Probably hear it and don't even notice.
Yeah. Like I said, you're an awesome talent. Stars in the Sky is one of the songs on your new project that we're going to play. But what else can you tell us about the upcoming project? Is it yet named, and are you doing collaborations? How soon will it be coming out? Give us some more deets on it.
All right, so the fact that you bring up Diani, I must make you do that, because we're working on something. I reached out to him and tell him that I have something that I'd love to collaborate with.
Great.
And I think it's going to be dope. The name of the album is Tsunami Season.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah, man, and I wanted to drop it this summer. Summer we're gone.
Yeah.
But it seems as if we're going to have to release it early next year. We don't have a date, but it's almost finished.
Okay. Sounds good.
We'll leave a collabs and thing.
All right. And one that he mentioned was one with Diani.
Hey, hope it forward. I hope it work out. It's a good look.
Yeah, I would have loved that too. And I think we're both excited to really jump on a track. It's just to find the right thing.
Right.
All right. Well, listen, man. Great having you on the program this morning. We're going to play the song Stars in the Sky. Give us your social media handles before you go, Natel.
On Instagram and Facebook, it's NATEL-MUSIC. Still working to change that because of the verification. But on Twitter, Nvt3l. But you can find me everywhere at Nvt3l.com.
All right. Tell us a little bit about Stars in the Sky before you go.
Well, I wrote that song in a time where I was hearing too much bad things were going on the news, man, about the ladies, whether they're being abducted or mistreated in various ways, and I never liked the fact that was going on and people was writing raunchy and rude song for the ladies them, broke out song and thing. Even though I do that sometime, but there's a time and a place for everything, and I felt like I needed to make the woman them feel special. That's why I mentioned that they're the star in my sky, and that's the inspiration behind the song.
Natel, great having you. We're playing that song right now. I wish you well. Keep us in touch and make sure that we get our hands on that project as soon as it's ready. All right, bro?
Definitely, man. Definitely.
One love.
Respect.